Debate was heated over the membership of the Senate.
President, I move the insertion of the following after line 20 of Clause 9. No principal of any secondary school or a person engaged in preparing students for the university may be a member of the Senate. The principal of such a school who was a member of the Senate would have a very great advantage over other schools.
President, the argument of the honourable member is very strong, but if we insert that disqualification, we must insert a whole string of disqualifications. The disqualifications already included are minors, liquidators, uncertificated insolvents, convicts, people in prison and insane persons. The same principle applies in our Election Act. Habitual drunkards and wife-beaters are disfranchised.
President, I do not think that any gentleman acting as master in any school would be likely to act in an improper manner. But with regard to the company in which it is proposed to put such gentlemen, I would like to point out that it was the same company in which all the noble women of the state were included before they had the rights of citizenship conferred upon them.
No, you ought to be a suffragette.
Previously, the Election Act provided that criminals and women were debarred from voting.
I keenly regret I had not the company of the honourable member when I was addressing meetings of suffragettes in England. I am sure if the honourable gentleman had given his voice to the feelings he had just expressed, he would have had a most gratifying reception.
The question was put and the committee divided. Contents 18, non-contents 5. Resolved in the affirmative. No school principals could be members of Senate. Another topic hotly debated was the proposed location for the university.
I look upon the choice of Government House, known as the Domain, as the site for the university, as one of the greatest blemishes in the proposal. We are going to place this institution where the students will be in the midst of all the temptations likely to wean them from their studies. We are going to expose them to the seductive fascinations of a city, always so dangerous and so attractive to youth. Further, a university should be placed where it should have ample space for elbow room for the next 100 years. We cannot reckon the life of a university in years nor in decades, but in centuries. If the area of the domain has not been considered too large for the use of the governor's household, a household which has never probably contained more than a dozen or 15 souls, by what process of reasoning can it be contended that these grounds will be sufficient for an institution intended to contain from 300 to 500 in the near future and ultimately over 1,000 people?
Andrew Barlow steered the debate into calmer waters by taking it into committee.
I beg to move that the Council do now adjourn. The first business tomorrow will be the Mount Morgan-Dawson River Railway. We shall then take the second reading of the Workers' Dwelling Bill, then go on with the committee stage of the University Bill, and after that the second reading of the Metropolitan Water and Sewerage Bill.
On the 2nd of December, at a late stage of the sitting, the bill was read a third time, passed and returned to the Assembly. On the 7th of December, the Assembly advised that they disagreed with one of the Council's amendments, but agreed to all the other amendments. Barlow quickly moved acceptance of the Assembly's amendment. The bill was passed and forwarded to the Governor in Council. Finally, the President of the Legislative Council, Sir Arthur Morgan, was able to announce:
I am in receipt of a message from the Governor intimating that His Excellency has assented to the bill to establish the University of Queensland.